Good evening, everybody. Acrylic here. My back's sore. And we're playing Minecraft. Yeah, we are. That's what this game is. This game's called Minecraft. And it's modded. And it's what we're playing. So, there. Couple of quick notes. Just on a few things. So, our saplings are starting to finally collect over here, which is good. Our melons, not so much. And I've been kind of taking like a stack of pumpkins at a time type situation and putting them in the seed for seed oil. I did a little bit of farming of some andesite, but we're pretty much out of it. And I'll show you why in but a brief moment. Thank you all so much for the input on different things. All the things. Basically everything so far in this pack. I really do appreciate it. I did fire up this third engine. And as you can see, we are starting to gain some juice back, which is good. I had a whole bunch of ores processing, and these things drain out my my power cell quite a bit. So we definitely need to get our RF a little bit more advanced, to say the least. We need a little bit more power than what our forestry setup here is supplying us. I think that this setup here is good for this, and only this. But once we start talking, you know, things like adding in the extra utility stuff or, you know, down the road, even the ethanol was a little bit of a burden overall on the system, right? So just once we start talking about those other little things, it adds up pretty darn quickly. A decent amount of resources. We have a decent amount of resources. I've done a good amount of mining. It's tough finding andesite, I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, we got two stacks of blocks of iron. You know, got a little bit more gold and copper and osmium and stuff like that, so that's good. Lead and silver as well. And then we also got some platinum and nickel cooked up, ready to go. I built some stuff, though, and I wanted to tinker with some stuff. So let's first explore what I built, I guess. Yeah, let's go explore what I built. Over here, as you can see, the IC2 section has had a little bit of a facelift. And this is kind of the thought process that I'm thinking of. So, as we go along here, even these stairs here that we've already placed, we're kind of looking like, you know, we're going to have this. Of course, I'm going to always make sure that we'll have proper head clearance. As you can see, we are good. And kind of capping it off with a bit of spruce. You know, bring in that color from the railing and all that type of stuff into our actual setup here. Now, of course, that's going to tier and meet up nicely and all that kind of stuff, right? But I was kind of playing around with architecture craft a little bit, and I noticed that there's these railings, these different railings that are part of architecture craft. And I'm like, you know, this spruce fence, that's cool and all, but maybe these will work better, you know? Not like that, though. Lordy, lordy, not like that. Or like that, even. We probably need these to be like, bam. Really? Really, me? And like, bam, right? So kind of like right up against it. It's cool. It's cool. There was some other ones as well. So which one's this? This one is the balustrade with newel. This guy here is your standard railing. Nothing crazy, right? Pretty straightforward. That one's fine, you know, all things considered. It's pretty cool. And then there was like a fancy spindle one. Oh, hello. Of course, it's the most expensive, too. Okay. So I do like the fancy one quite a bit. But I like them all. But I do like the fancy one. So let's take a look here. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of different railings. So this was the fancy one. So if we go like this and we just get some of those, that's pretty good. They have the angles. They have corners. They have a fancy one with a newel. They have a fancy newel. Then they have a fancy banister top transition, a fancy banister, fancy banister bottom transition, fancy banister end, and all that type of stuff. So this top transition, I kind of want to see if this works with the staircase here, right? So, well, that definitely does not work like that. Okay, closer, but upside down. How do we place this properly? Okay, so that place that there. What if I... Oh, closer. All right, that's the correct way up. But I'm thinking that that's going to have to be like here, isn't it? Yeah, kind of like that. We're going to have to be more so like that. And then this guy... No, that doesn't match up. I mean, I like the idea. I do. But it's floating. So... I do and I don't like that idea. What about... So then I'd probably need a bottom, right? Bottom transition to go for the other one here, right? No. These are kind of annoying to place, though. I'm sure once I get the hang of it, it'll be easy, though, right? Okay. I think it was like this, right? None of those are correct. What is this thing even doing? Oh, my Lord. All right. Yeah. Okay. So that's correct, but it's the other way. So we need it to be here, but against this block. So if I do that, and then I do that, now it matches up properly. Okay. Okay. I mean, I get it. I get it. But, oh, a little bit of a hassle. Okay, so it doesn't quite match up. And it is kind of floating. But I do like them. I do like them overall. I think that there's really good potential with these to kind of just jazz up the place a little bit, right? Like, we're making a pretty darn good improvement, I feel, overall in the system. Even though I'm deleting all my grass. It's fine. So, yeah, like that definitely looks better. I think so. By the way, this is probably going to be a little bit more of a buildy episode. I'm just going to put it out there right now. We got lots to do. So much to do, it's crazy. So that one definitely looks nice like that. I really like that. I would like one that could match up nicely. Maybe it's an end post. Let's see what this one looks like. Next to like this, the rounded corners here. Okay. I mean, I like the end post going into the rounded, but that's the up-down. That's coming down at a vertical. That's not the correct one. Can you turn these back into regular blocks? No. Okay. Great. Just great. Great. Is there really a good way to do this? I don't think there is. I think it's just a matter of we do that. I mean, it's close, right? Like, it doesn't, there's no see-through there. It's only when you go to the side that it's kind of visible. I don't hate it. But what I'm thinking here is kind of changing out all of these, saving my spruce fences, and replacing these with a nicer railing. Okay? So that's my initial thought process. So this guy, let's get over. Let's get back over. Let me in. Let me in, game. Okay, so we go like this, and nope, not like that. See, this needs a thing underneath it. So we could go with something like this, right? Built-in spruce footing, kind of like so, right? Because that's a little bit of an overhang. It does make thematic sense that we do have something built in there, right? At least I believe so. Same thing here. We could probably do just like that. And probably this guy, right? Would that be... I think that would be about right. And then we'll just put down a torch. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind this at all, actually. I think that this is going to work really, really well. So I'll handle this railing stuff a little bit later on, as we have other projects that we need to get to. So that seems to work okay there, like that. I think so. I think it works okay. Give me all the railings. Oh, that was good. That was so good. I mean, where there's grass and stuff like that, it's perfectly fine. We don't need any sort of special treatment or anything like that there because it's stable, right? But where it meets up with, you know, air underneath it, we probably need a footing. Yeah, that looks way better. Really fancy, really gussied up the place. I really like it. We get a little bit more beauty going on here as well. These fences here like this, I wasn't really a big fan of, especially after seeing them a little bit. They really started to tire on me. So I think that this is a great little solution that I found. Anyways, I'm still talking about it and still doing it. So let's get over to the IC2 section here, where, like I said, we got a little bit of a facelift here. We talked a little bit about where to put like the immersive engineering and stuff like that last episode. And I've kind of come to the conclusion, and a little bit of a combination of things that I'm pretty sure I talked about all of them last time. But this main one is building it over the ocean here. That's something that I definitely want to do. I've come up with a good idea to implement this, and hopefully you guys like it. But like I said, it'll be a little bit of a quick build episode here. So I built this to begin with. This nice little setup here. We have the staircases going around to the side and the beautifulness upstairs. We've capped off and roofed our IC2 section. So as you can see, it looks pretty good. It's nice, it's clean, it's straightforward, and we're good to go, right? Take that out so that it can keep going. Why? What is making noise over here? I really do not know. Anyways, so then we have this nice little upstairs section, and this is literally just a landing section for us to get up to. It's a transition to basically a bridge out into the ocean, as you can see that we are walking on currently. Now this bridge isn't just going to be a normal bridge. As you can see, it's all at half slab level, which is very, very cool. But it is going to be a bit of a pain to build this section. What I would like to do, now bear with me a little bit because we may be jumping back and forth in the water and such, okay? But basically what I want to see is we want this to be 3 wide, kind of like so. And then we need this to go down 1. It's so awkward to build like this without the jetpack. We're going to have to get into like scaffolding and such probably for this. Or, you know what? Maybe we'll get the IC2 jetpack. It'll definitely help us. And we should be able to charge it nicely. So maybe that's a little project here for the end. So that's going to be like that. And then we'll basically do, I think, a stair here, just as an example, and that'll be in the andesite. Okay, that dirt will be down, and all of this dirt won't be there either. Okay, so this dirt will be removed for andesite as well. So, like that. Let's just do this so we have something to jump on, kind of like so. Okay. So pretty cool, pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. I'll have to work on that transition there, but again, we'll take a look at that here shortly. So what basically I want to see from here is some way that this is a water flow, right? So the way that I'm thinking about this is we're going to have this on both sides, pretty straightforward. And this will be a general water flow system that we can utilize to bring water out to our immersive engineering section. Okay? Pretty straightforward. Nothing crazy. I don't think. Nothing too crazy anyways. So we'll do this. Maybe we'll do this with this on top. This was way easier to build it like this. Why did I build it the other way to begin with? Why did I make my life difficult before? There we go. See? So much easier. It's probably because I was thinking things through in my noggin. Okay? So like that. And we're going to have water running down 3 wide in these channels. Down this walkway all the way out. So it's a very large bridge. But I also want to incorporate like water wheels and such into this section so that we have our power for our IE as well as potentially power. I want to hide it all and connect it to our XNet system for just our cube over there in the forestry area, just in general, right? So I think that this should work pretty cool. We might not even need to go a 3 wide. I haven't fully thought this 100% through. But we got to build a couple things to just kind of test this out a little bit more. And 2 of those, one of them is a water wheel. I really want to get a water wheel from Immersive Engineering so that I can kind of play around a little bit with it and see how it reacts and all that kind of stuff to our environment and see what I need to potentially build around it. And I wouldn't mind, so I need to get the water wheel and the jetpack. The jetpack's the other thing that would be very, very nice to secure. But yeah, and then this is actually going to go down. Now, I know I have this window there. That window may move. It may not remain, right? It may go away, but we'll see. We'll see. It might be cool if we can see down, or it might even just be like a tunnel underneath, right? We might do a tunnel underneath if it fits with the water wheels from what I'm thinking, okay? So let's take a look at the water wheels from Immersive. It's pretty straightforward. It's nothing too crazy. Sorry, the quick little drink here. Of wine. So good. So the water wheel segments is just a whole bunch of treated wood. Now, we don't have a ton of treated wood just kind of lying around at the moment, but we do have a decent amount of creosote. So with the creosote, we can easily get ourselves some more treated wood, right? We can just set up a quick little crafting table like so, and treated wood, thank you. Treated wood, thank you. And one more bucket to get a little bit more. And I have the coal blocks in there as well to kind of get things fired up, okay? So anyways, this guy's pretty cheap. We need 4 sticks and 3 planks per, okay? Luckily, that is like that. That's 16 sticks per wheel. Now, I would like to get a 3-wheel setup. These aren't going to be the most efficient wheels or like power setup possible for the water wheels. It's going to be a little bit more for aesthetic, but we're still going to generate some RF off of this thing. So we need 3 of this. So we need 12 total in this setup. Boom. 48 sticks. Just like that. Gone, right? Then we're going to need a few more treated wood, treated planks to complete the other set of 3, right? Boom, boom, boom. So we have like that and like these. Good and good. And let's get out the other 7 here. It's not enough. I know that. But we can start to get, that's 7 of them. That's not bad. We need to get a little bit more of this creosote stuff going. Pretty straightforward, though. I mean, this isn't hard or rocket science or anything like that. It's very easy to do. So I'm going to get this done. We'll get that done. Boom, boom, boom. Click and craft. Beautiful. Now, it also required some steel. Now, luckily, I have been making a decent amount of steel, so we can easily convert that into steel ingots and get ourselves the water wheel. Like that, and that'll give us 3 of them. Perfect. So we have our first water wheel. That is a great start. That is the initial start that we were originally looking for that we needed to get done. From there, we also need to get ourselves the kinetic dynamo. Now, I think there's also quests for this, but I think we had to do the kinetic dynamo first. So we'll make this guy, and hopefully both will just trigger over automatically. So this guy is redstone, iron, and a copper coil, which is the LV wire coils. Now, I should have enough, which is good, and a piece of iron. We're going to need 4 iron total and 2 redstone to complete this build. So let's get this guy done. Oh yeah, we already have the LV, so that's good. We can get ourselves the copper coil into the kinetic dynamo. Very cheap, very easy recipe, all things considered. Okay, boom. We'll claim the middle loot one, as we've been doing for both of these. Got our water wheel and kinetic dynamo. An eye chisel. Yes, thank you. I've been holding off making one. I've been holding off 100% from making one. I don't know why, but it is so much better than my iron chisel. It's not even funny. I am very happy with that reward. Finally. Okay. So these two systems combined will generate us some power, right? The other thing that we can make is a windmill. We might incorporate that into the build as well, but we'll deal with that a little bit later on. So for now, though, we do have everything that we require to at least get this placed and started. So let's see what all we're dealing with here. These things are pretty big. So let's keep that in mind as we're building it out. Okay? So I'm pretty sure, I don't think I'm wrong in this, but I think it is decently wide. So if we need to be, if our water's above there, and this is our first water wheel right here, for example, and the water's going to run over top of it, and it's going to keep going down, but it's also supposed to fall. That's the catch. So we'll have to see what is doing that noise. Seriously. Is it like the block cutting machine or something? It's driving me bonkers. Every time I'm over here, I hear it. I don't get it. Is it a squid? Squid underground? Squid? Hello? I don't know. Anyways, so if this guy's here, we need to build from that with the water assuming to be above it. Okay? So the water's going to roll over the water wheel and we'll be good to go. So that means that we're going to have a dynamo somewhere in the middle here. And I think these things are 5 blocks wide. So that's 1, 2, 3. So what I'm thinking is we're going to need a dynamo either there or one down from there. And I do not know which one it is. Okay, let's do this quickly. Do not vein mine. Do not vein mine. It's got to be a squid, right? Making all that noise. Dang squids. These andesite blocks, man, these things are precious. Cannot afford to let any of them go. It's a pain in the butt to get some andesite going at this point in time. So this guy should go here, question mark? Maybe? I might be right with this. And that's backwards. That's backwards anyways. It was the other way. Okay, hammer. Okay, is that right now? No, that's not right. Is that right now? Yeah, I think that's correct. Okay, so then the water wheels should go on there. No? Uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay. Right. Why don't they go on here? Don't they go on there? Could have sworn they went on here. Is it my current position? Sometimes these can be a little bit on the finicky side. There we go. There we go. And there we go. So that'll be our third one there. Yeah, see, it gets a little finicky. If you're, like, close to the block, and it's a pretty big block, so it's kind of tough sometimes to get the right angle to place these guys down. So, and see, like there, it's telling me that I'm in the block, right? That's why it's not crafting it. So if we go like this, there we go. All right, so just one of those little minor nuances. So there's an example of a water wheel that we would have in this current setup, okay? So from above now, let's take a quick glance and see what we have to do here. So I'm just going to pretend that this is blocked, right? This will be water. It might have to go down one, right? Yeah, I think it's all got to go down one block. Okay. See, these are why we're testing this stuff, right? This is why we are testing all of this right now, but I am doing it live instead of, you know, by ignoring everything, okay? So this guy now comes with me, and we go down by one. Very good. Let's get this guy out. So this will be for our wheels, and I don't think I can reach that. See, these are a little bit of a pain to place. We're like that one block away most of the time. Okay, there we go. They're a lot easier when you're not trying to place them above the ocean. I'll tell you that, okay? All right, so that guy's placed. Let's take a look and see how that one's doing. I think that this is where we're going to be. Is that right? That to me seems about right. So we're going to have andesite coming across and then water flowing down over top of the water wheel. Okay? And equally, we'll also have more on the sides and everything, kind of keeping it like a waterway. We do not want to have... I want to be able to ride a boat in this. Let's put it that way. Okay? We should be able to ride a boat, if that's what we wanted to do, in this setup. Okay? Good. Chisel. Give me the almost broken one. I need more weathered andesite. By the way, don't do crafts with like weathered andesite when you don't have a good source of andesite. I wouldn't recommend it. It's kind of been a little bit of a pain to go mine it all the time. So just as an FYI. Little word of the wise from Mr. Acrylic here. So, okay. All right. Good. So this guy will basically be our water, like so. And looks like we need to go one more to get this thing really going. And just for now, I'm going to fall. Just for now, though. Just for now. Don't worry. We're just falling for now. Okay. We'll do that. We'll grab a water to complete this thing. And I'll place down these stairs as well, so that we kind of cap off the sides here. Whatever, it's fine. Bam, bam. Okay, good and good, and water there. So this waterway is going to roll pretty much like this, and across our entire system. Now, because of what we just did with the water here, it's a little bit derpy, but it'll fix itself as we go. Then the water wheels will roll, and we'll keep on keeping on. So the trick now is going to be, okay, so if this is our point of drop, right, as we've seen, we need this here to be open, right? And we still need water to flow down over the water wheel. So it might be like a 2-wide drop. I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be a 2-wide drop. for each water wheel. All right, well, it is far from complete. Far, 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 far from complete. But this is basically kind of the thought process that I'm thinking of. Okay? Obviously, I have dirt there instead of the proper building material, because guess what? I'm out of andesite again. I literally mined for a whole, a ton of time. An absolute ton of time. But anyways, so this is my original thought process where now we have ourselves the water wheel. Up top, I'll show you what that looks like, at least temporarily for now. And show you what I'm kind of dealing with. But as you can see, it's a full thing of water. It looks wonderful. But then you have these little notches out for the water wheel. Now, obviously, I'll make this further, but that's all I had. So, and yeah, not too much further to go, really, all things considered. But this should allow us to do 1, and I think 2 water wheels per side, which is pretty awesome. That's a decent amount of juice for early on power, right? So I'm very happy with this. And I think I am going to, I've thought about it, and I think I'm going to tie it fully into the entire system. I think that's something that I plan on doing. And the reason being, well, why not, right? We can always pull it from there. So if this is, for example, my connector right there, right? So this guy, this will be, say, water wheel 1, right? And that connector will then be brought over and connect into our XNet system, or brought down. I haven't decided which yet. Behind these machines, we can probably sneak it under like that and connect into the system. But again, it kind of depends on the viewing window and if I have one and all that type of stuff. But we can easily hide it too, right? So if we go down, for example, and come around, you can see the other piping there. There's some even over there, right? But if we were to come straight down and then go up and around, so like this, and then just kind of hover right along the water. We don't need to disturb the water just yet. We are slightly into the water with that stuff, but as you can see, we can quickly cut in here, and then we can go straight down, right? So we can do kind of a little dipsy doodle like that to get our access point under the sea, under our IC2 setup. So that's kind of my first initial thought process overall for this thing. I think it looks pretty cool. There's obviously a lot of tweaking that needs to go on here before we are like, yes, it's perfect. But it's a process, and it's coming along pretty darn nicely, I would say. And I think, there it is right there. Beautiful. I didn't even need to go down that extra little bit. So we can connect this very easily right into the system here, right underneath our IC2 piping, and right like so. There we go. Problem solved, right? So now we're connected in to our overall system. We should have, hopefully, more power once I set it up in our controller to power our cell, right? So let's take a quick look. I'm not sure, that block might need to be rotated again. I can't remember if the power needs to come out of that slot or not and all that type of stuff. I always forget that. Every single time I go to play Immersive, I forget that. So, yeah. One of those things. This seems to be holding up pretty well, though. But as you can see, we're at like 24-ish. Yeah, 24-24-ish. So let's see now if we connect this guy. Let's find our dynamo right there. And we will go and extract for power. It's seeming to go up. I don't really know if it's working. I can't remember. I might have to do a more localized test rather than through here to know if this guy's working. Because, yeah, how do I really know that it's powering anything? I don't have a clue. But yeah, that's my thought process anyways. We'll get power into that power cell and then go from there. Yeah, I don't really know if we're getting power from it or not. And I don't think it tells us. So I might have to go with like a wire or put something here automatically. Will this tell us? Let's just see. I think it's like this. I'm thinking it's like that. That's my guess. My guess is the round bit either has to face the water wheel, which is what we had it at the first place, or it's got to not face the water wheel. So, yeah. Kind of hard to tell. Really is. We're a little bit sporadic overall on our power consumption. But it's steadily going up, so that's cool. I guess. Anyways, I'm sure you guys will remind me down below, or I'll look it up after this video and go from there, because, yeah, I continually forget. But this is my thought process. So we're going to build a nice little water wheel bridge. We're going to get some nice new railing. We are going to get a little bit more building stuff going on here with these beautiful pillars that have kind of been just pillars of nothingness for a long time, and start working on some immersive engineering. Hopefully you guys like the video. I know it's a little bit of a build heavy one, but the next few might be. You know, we're trying to complete a few things before we kind of progress too far, you know, into the pack, right? Like mechanism is going to be a pretty darn big task, I think. It's going to be pretty intensive. Actually, additions is pretty intensive. Industrial foregoing, not overly intensive, but could be. And then nuclear craft, I've never played with. So I think that some of these, especially mechanism, I've played with that in the past, are pretty labor intensive, and they're bigger mods. So before we sink our teeth into it, I want to make sure we have something that's looking the part elsewise. Okay? So keep that in mind, and we'll go from there. I need to get more andesite, apparently. Yes, I do. Back to mining. Back to mining. Good thing I'm out of food, too, right? But I do have some sharpening kits, so that's good. Anyways, that's going to be it for me. Thank you all so much for being here. Really do appreciate it. And we'll see you on the flip side next time. Next time, Marino. We'll spot you out. We'll play some video games. Okay. Hopefully you guys are enjoying Discord, Twitter, all that jazz. I'm around. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye bye.